to part 2 of my Europe travel series. I'm just starting off this vlog type video in Vienna, Austria, and so I stayed in an Airbnb actually for my first couple days there, and then later on I actually went first to Vienna for a couple days, then to Germany to visit a friend, and then returned back to Vienna to visit another friend, and then stayed with her for the last few days of my trip. And so anyways, I'm just walking around the beautiful city. Yeah, I had some amazing vegan food, which you will see upcoming. And yeah, I was just enjoying wandering the streets of Vienna. So here we see St. Stephen's Cathedral. I wish I could remember the name of every single building that I saw. As you will see, there will be many coming up shortly. But yeah, a beautiful cathedral. There is a thing to be said about cathedrals. Like, once you've seen a dozen of them, they all kind of have similar elements, but they're all beautiful in their own way. And yeah, so I spent a little time touring around on my own in the few days that I was in the city by myself. And yeah, it's a beautiful city just to walk around in. I also made it to this really cute little museum, and apparently they have some of the oldest Roman ruins, and so this was just kind of showing how also the Romans had underground heating. This is just one of the main streets. Again, can't quite remember the name. And then I found a Starbucks because although I don't want to be supporting Starbucks all that often, they do have really great Wi-Fi, which was nice, so I could upload maps of the city and then walk around and know where I was from there. So here are a bunch of the buildings that I can't quite remember the names to. I apologize for that, but yeah, all beautiful, amazing sculptures, and it was such a beautiful day to be walking around and yeah, seeing all of the sights. So this was the delicious vegan restaurant that I found called Veggies. It had an amazing quinoa dish and sweet potato fries, and it was probably the best quinoa I'd ever had. Yeah, and so then I ended the first part of my Vienna touring, yeah, just honestly by wandering around, and like I said, it was so sunny and a beautiful day. This was a really interesting building. I think that it's a factory that they made to look really cool, but yeah, and then obviously walking over the bridge. Yeah, Vienna is super beautiful. And then that night, kind of my go-to meal while I was traveling was hummus, and then bread or corn chips, whatever I could find, and then olives, tomato, and cilantro I had here, so I kind of made a bruschetta type deal, and then I was off to Germany. while I was in Germany, I had the amazing opportunity to stay with a really amazing friend of mine that I actually went to school with here in Canada. We were both in the doula program together, and yeah, oh my gosh, I love Marie so much. I got to stay with her in her tiny house, and she lives on her parents' property, and it was just absolutely beautiful and magical, and she's a real-life fairy, and we had such an amazing time cooking and having deep conversations all the time, having amazing food, and yeah, it was an absolute blessing and joy to be able to spend the time with her in Germany. And her parents have the coolest house ever. They actually renovated and built their home inside this super old barn. I think it was a stable. Yeah, oh my gosh, and I had the most amazing bath. I just wanted to show how beautiful it was. But my time in Germany was absolutely incredible, and I would go back in a heartbeat. Oh, this was also the room I got to stay in. How cute. I was absolutely in love with the place and her, and yeah, it was an amazing time. So the next day I just walked, toured, wandered around Dresden while Marie was at work, and as you can see there was a lot of construction going on, but obviously you could still enjoy all of the amazing old buildings, and I mean that's kind of Europe for you. Everything has so much history and it's all beautiful and old architecture, but yeah, it was another amazing sunny day. It did end up getting a bit rainy and chilly my last few days in Europe, Austria included, but as you can see it was just gorgeous, and I had such a nice day wandering around, and yeah, then I caught up with Marie a little bit later, as you will see, but this was just me wandering the old town part of Dresden. I also thought I would mention, in terms of eating vegan and gluten-free this entire trip, I actually found Spain, surprisingly, to be, I think, the most vegan and gluten-free friendly. The most difficult place, I think, to be gluten-free was Germany. Because they just have a whole bunch of bread and goodies everywhere, which is amazing. But every country, Portugal, Spain, Austria, and Germany, were all really easy to find vegan restaurants and vegan foods. But yeah, the gluten-free was definitely a little bit more of the challenge this time, but was still easily doable and on a smaller budget.
We're in sunny Germany. Lived here. Are taking a video?
Yeah.
The guy who lived here really liked ruins. So he built right next to where the hill comes down. There is a hill, if you see it. If you focus on it for a while.
And then I returned back to Vienna, Austria for a couple days, visiting my friend Anna, who we met as au pairs when we both lived in Madrid 2.5 years ago. And here we were visiting Sisi's palace. Yeah, it was super beautiful. This day was a bit chilly, and yeah, my last few days in Europe were cooler, but that was okay. I had beautiful weather for most of my trip, and here's a beautiful view over the city of Vienna. I had an amazing time with Anna. We had so many laughs, and it was just amazing to catch up, and especially since we hadn't seen each other for such a long time. But oh my gosh, I really appreciated everyone who housed me and showed me around, took care of me while I was visiting in Europe. And yeah, I had an amazing trip. I was so happy that I went. It was at the perfect time. And here I was just walking to my hotel on the final night. I stayed in a hotel near the airport. My last meal was gluten-free bread and hummus because, like I said, easy, cheap, and super easy to travel with. So thank you so much for watching. Please come and rate and subscribe.